Hello and welcome to our Family Travel Tips series. I'm excited to share with you in this video my tips for helping you plan a family travel experience everyone will love in the family. Now, it's simply crazy to think that we can plan a trip everyone's going to love, even though we're in the one family and share the same genes. We do have different interests and different styles and different ways of dealing with those pesky challenges that always appear on our travels. But it is possible to have a trip that everyone in the family will love, and I'm sharing my tips today with our partner Allianz Travel, who is sponsoring this video and of course want you to travel more with your kids and create those quality memories that you're searching for. Now, the tips I'm sharing in this video are a part of my family travel planning toolkit, and you can click the link in the description below to get access to that toolkit for free, which comes with all the planning worksheets and specific tasks that align with the tips I'm sharing with you today. It's a really cool, fun experience the whole family can get behind. So don't forget to grab that before you leave this video today. Now, let's get started with tip number 1. And that is to get to know your family members. Now, you already know quite a lot about your spouse and your children, but I'm sure that there are missing pieces to that puzzle. So understanding each member of your family, what they like, what they don't like, what their passions are, and what ticks them off can help you create a travel experience that suits all personalities. Now, I do have a worksheet with some questions to help you dig deeper into the personalities of everyone in your family. But just ask a series of questions, sit down around the dinner table and start discovering more about each other. Connect to what your children love and don't love. Be sure to share what you love and don't love as well. Take note of your similarities and your differences. All of this is vital information for you to know when it comes to travel planning and creating an experience everyone will love. Now, tip number 2 is to create the travel vision together. Now, my daughters and I love to sit down and create vision boards. We just go through magazines and cut out pictures of destinations that we want to visit and experiences that we want to have. And then we put those vision boards up on the wall where we can see them and be connecting to our dream every day. And it opens up a great space for discussion. As we're cutting out the pictures, we start saying things like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do that? And I can't wait till we go and have breakfast with the princesses at Disneyland. What do you want to see the most? And how great will it be if the surf's up while we're in the Biarritz in France? So engaging in this kind of activity with your child is such an incredible bonding experience. It doesn't have to just be with pictures and vision boards. You can do it with books and movies and songs and all sorts of ways to engage in that travel conversation. Now, they're going to feel like you're supporting them in their dreams and you in yours, and together you're creating a solid family vision and life. It's teaching them about stepping towards the dream and immersing themselves in it with confidence and passion. Now, tip number 3 is to create rules around the travel experience. Now, don't run off afraid hearing that word rules. They're actually a good thing and can help us feel safe and secure. Our girls loved helping to create some rules for our road trip around Australia, and they created some pretty funny ones. Now, as a teacher, I know rules in the classroom tend to be followed more if the students contributed to creating the rules and defining what would happen if they weren't followed and it let down the team spirit. And the same applies with your travel adventure with your children. By helping to create the rules, they are owning them and will have less reason to rebel against them. Now, some of the rules may be everyone helps to create the experience. We listen to everyone's ideas and interests. We all agree to the vacation. We consider our family budget and are okay if it means we can't do certain things. You let me know in the comments below, what are some of the family travel rules your family has created? Because I'm sure they are endless. Maybe no meltdowns allowed at 5 o'clock wine hour? Gotta have some cheeky ones for our parents. So tip number 4 is to give everyone a role. Just like creating rules helps the children to feel like they own the experience more, giving them a role will also help them to feel that and more responsible and in control. So I know often mums can be burdened down with the travel planning and concern for making travel the best experience for everyone. We aim to please, and we know that happy kids means happy travels, and dad knows that happy wife makes a happy life. So let's help ease the burden on our mums and possibly our dads as well by making sure everyone is chipping in and playing a part in creating the travel experience that everyone will love. Now, some of the roles that you could create could be chief navigator, the happiness coordinator, the finance controller, the events organizer, the DJ. So many different roles. Talk about it with your family. What do you think are the most important ones to have on your vacation? Kalira, our eldest, often takes control of the research for fun destinations like Disneyland and Universal Studios. She's the one researching videos and blog posts to find all the travel tips and hacks. Our youngest daughter, Savannah, is always in charge of entertainment in the car without even really being assigned that role. And both girls are always, well, each person is in control of packing their own luggage. And that's really important to teach your children from a very young age to be responsible and take care of things like packing. So tip number 5 is really important, and it is coming up with a list of potential problems and solutions for those problems on your trip. Now, family travel or any kind of travel is not going to be free from challenges. There is a lot that we cannot control. Delayed flights, lost luggage, terrible weather, irritating flies, and of course, children tend to get a lot more tired and very quickly. Now, children will cope far better on the trip if they're aware of the potential things that could go wrong and then have a specific plan in place to implement when it does. Now, granted, we're all parents. We know that plans in place often don't go to plan. Sometimes the heat and those pesky flies just get too much for us and we all lose our cool. But at least having it there gives us some kind of security to know that deep in the recesses of our crazy mind, there is a plan that we can latch on to help ourselves. So part of a child's struggle with travel is that they're thrown way out of their comfort zone into a world of constant change and very little security and stability. So having this plan will give a little bit of that to them. They'll know that no matter what happens on the trip, they've got a plan that they came up with together as a family to work together to manage it. So remember, it takes teamwork to make that dream work. So have actions in place. Simply ask Kalira, what will you do if the heat gets too unbearable and you break out into that god-awful whine? And you see Mummy running to dive under the bed for cover? And Savannah, we know that you're obsessed with numbers and maths, but what if we're driving for about 6 hours and you're asking us every 5 minutes how long until we get there and it's driving us slightly crazy? What could be the alternative solution here? Now we're all aware of what drives us absolutely crazy and what we could possibly do in advance to ensure that no one has a meltdown. Oh, and one last thing, now that you have those plans in place for things that may go wrong, you can just push all those worries aside. You've got this. Go and have fun. And of course, you want to plan and research the trip together. Come together as a family and talk about possible destinations that you would like to visit and why, and discuss what is feasible and can be done. This is a great time to bring in budget. Think of what you're teaching your children, how to consciously make smart decisions. Don't say to them, well, we can't afford that. Talk about how much it will cost to travel there, how much you have in savings at the moment, and help them to see if that matches or not. And then of course you can discuss ways at how you can work together as a family to save more money or create more money. Use Google, Pinterest, Lonely Planet and tourist brochures to help plan and research your travel together. And don't forget YouTube videos. Our girls love watching YouTube videos to get travel inspiration and ideas. This is also a great time to talk about those sacrifices that will be made in the pursuit of any kind of dream, and ensure that everyone in the family is making them. I've agreed to spend 3 days at Disneyland with the girls, as I know they will love it, but I've maxed my capacity at 3 days. They would like to go for 10, and I've insisted on fast passes as I just cannot do lines, and they have allowed me to also bypass those spinning cups, because since turning 40 I cannot do anything that spins or even swings. So my final tip for creating a family travel experience that everyone will love is to practice at home. You may not have started traveling with your kids yet or as a complete family, and it does take you a bit of time to get used to those family dynamics. Now, you don't want to go away on your first trip together as a family, maybe overseas or to a destination that involves a large investment of your time and money, only to discover that you absolutely hate traveling with each other and you want to go home. Traveling in your own backyard is the perfect way to get into the travel groove. So practice with short trips away, perhaps just spending the day in your local area, exploring and doing some fun travel related things. You could go away camping for a weekend, or take a 2 or 3 hour drive to the next region near where you live and just spend a couple of days working out that family travel dynamic together. Do that for as many times as you need until you figure it out, and with each new trip, go a little bit further out for a little bit longer. That way, by the time you are ready to take your first major trip together as a family, you've ironed out all the kinks, you know what makes everyone tick, and you know how to have that amazing family travel experience. Thank you so much for joining me in this travel series. Please leave a comment below and tell me which action step did you like hearing about the most in this video, and what are you going to take straight away. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel. Be sure to click the links below where you can access super useful posts on our site about family travel, as well as that family travel planning toolkit and the other videos in this series designed to help you overcome your greatest family travel challenges. Many thanks once again to our sponsor, Allianz Travel, for helping us create this video. We'll see you in the next video.